and a tradition of family-inspired service since 1962. The following program is an Art and Seat presentation. This program has been made possible in part by the City of Dallas Office of Cultural Affairs, the Denton Appleton Baldwin Fund, and by the valued support of KERA members. Thank you.
Funk is dance music. What that now, if your butt doesn't move after that, then something's wrong with you. You need to check yourself. You understand what I'm saying? At that time, the Central Force was the largest club on the South Side. All these bands that played in the same area, the same time on the stage, then the head cutting would take place, you know. You'd come out of there with, somebody would know who the best band in at least South Dallas was, or maybe at that time they would see who the best band in the city was at that time.
Oh yeah, don't go nowhere, baby. We're getting ready to do it to you now. Right about now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna bring the female star of the Soul 7 show for you tonight. And let her do her thing for you. Got to be out of sight. Another Dallasite, right here in Big D. Doing her out of sight. Man. Are you ready, baby? Yeah, she's ready.
Getting the spirit in the dark. I'm getting the spirit in the dark. People moving. Oh, start getting the spirit in the dark.
When Now Again issued the album, they crossed out pop and put funk in there because it really was a funk festival, but funk was the popular music in our community at that time.
I feel in the evening. I feel it. And late in the midnight hour, I feel it.
We were trying to put our best foot forward and step out there and put ourselves out there where they could see that there are just as good musicians coming out of South Dallas as there are anywhere else in this city.
So we decided when we planned this South Dallas Pop Festival that we would do it on a Monday night. A lot of events took place on Monday nights because the waiters and porters, people who worked at the country clubs and so forth, and the hairdressers and barbers were off on Monday. And so that was a big night for partying among black people in Dallas at that time. And let's go and hear some good funky music and have a good time and go and meet that mule Tuesday morning, which is what we call going to work, you know.
We all at that time had been starstruck, so we wanted to make some money. And wanted to make some money as a musician. And we wanted to make the real money, which at that time we understood was on the other side of town. And we couldn't get there just by doing what you normally had to do, which was go to the club owner and try to set up an audition. Well, that was hard for us. Dallas was very closed to that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, coming on the other side of town and doing that kind of stuff, you had to be invited.
Family first moved into South Dallas, the thing that a lot of people don't realize, you had to call a black ambulance to pick you up. You know, if you were white, you called the white ambulance. If you're black, you called the black ambulance. Of course, as a musician, I couldn't perform in some of the North Dallas clubs and downtown clubs. I was basically restricted to playing at clubs in South Dallas. And fortunately, at that time, there were quite a few jazz clubs in our community.
I started out trying to be a jock and played football for a while. In '59, I was hit by a car on 2nd Avenue, which broke both my legs. And that was the end of my athletic career right there. But because I had taken band, I had an alternative. So, and I had a good band director there at that time. It was Mr. Allison Tucker, had become the band director at Lincoln then.
Allison Tucker was particularly good because he was at Lincoln. Now remember, Lincoln High School produced Bobby Humphrey, David Fathead Newman, not in Allison's era. Leroy Cooper, James Clay, Shirley McFadden. A lot of the finest musicians came from South Dallas because that was the heart of the black community.
Whenever a musician in Lincoln's band would think that he had gotten to the point where he didn't have to listen to Mr. Tucker and he thought he could really play, Mr. Tucker would tell him to go down to the Woodman. If you think you can really play, go down to the Woodman and sit in.
The Woodman Auditorium was just an auditorium that was a part of a complex on the corner of Oakland Avenue and Carpenter Street. Oh, maybe 4 or 5 blocks from Lincoln High School. I started there when I was 17 and pretty much learned how to play jazz there. And that was the training ground. And later it became the testing ground.
And if you're a drummer and you don't have proper technique and you don't have yourself together, after a while, rigor mortis sets in. And where you might start in playing like this, after a while, that rigor mortis will straighten that arm out, and then you wind up moving that whole arm to try to keep the cymbal beat and try to keep all this working at the same time. Man, that's the thing, and that would humble you. So when you came back to Lincoln that next day, whatever Mr. Tucker told you, you listened, you know.
He taught with love. He cared about the kids, man, and he wanted to make sure that they learned the right way and that they learned in a way that would prepare them for professional careers.
Mr. Tucker always told us, you know, that you have to take advantage of opportunities as they come to you. And so this was an opportunity. So since I wasn't going to play football anymore, I was going to do it in music, and I set out to do it, you know. That's how Wendell became Wendell Sneed, you know, that where the name meant something, you know. So and that meant my life, you know.
Wendell used to tell me all the time that we need to get out of South Dallas. He said, because nobody who can do anything for us is going to hear us in South Dallas. They won't come over here. We need to be somewhere where we can be seen and be heard if we want to get some opportunity to do something. Motown Records had really blossomed into quite a success. Barry Gordy started this and exploited the local talent and developed the local talent. Gave me an idea that Dallas could have something like that because I knew that there was a lot of talent here, and I felt like if they could do it in Detroit, we could do it in Dallas. The first record was the Texas Soul Trio plus Marshall Ivory. That's how that happened, because I wanted to put a horn player in there, and Marshall was a horn player who could really take care of the kind of music business that we wanted on there. A very soulful saxophone player. A couple of years later, Wendell became a partner with me in Soul Tex. Wendell and I decided that we would put out a record on the group that he led, which was called the Soul Seven.
All right, sisters, do your thing, honey.
And this was purely funk record. It did much better than our first record did, than the jazz record had done. And the group got to be very popular in South Dallas. Just a really good funk band.
We, maybe unconsciously, wanted to prove we were as good as any white band out there, or any band that they had out there. Come look and see what we got over here.
a recording engineer there. We intended to put that material out in an album or two on the Soul Tex label. That was the intent.
So here we are, we sitting in the club waiting, and it's pouring down rain. So you know that's sometimes that's automatic killer to a concert. It's pouring down rain, and we standing there, man, this is not gonna look like we're going. You know, we done sold maybe about 200 or 300 tickets, but we in the Central Forest Club, which is the biggest club in South Dallas. 200 people ain't even, you know, that's not gonna maybe fill up that first area down there.
We didn't fill the place up, but when I looked out and saw that we had a decent crowd on a rainy night, I knew that we were not going to break the bank, but I knew we were going to break even.
And as the people started coming in, then the bravado started coming, so we started trash talking to the other bands and getting ready for the head cutting session. Because every band that was going to be in there, we had played at one time or another in the club with them, at their club, and the Soul 7 was kind of like we weren't that well liked at that time because we were kind of cocky. We were college boys coming from Bishop College out there, and we could read music, and so we thought we were pretty hot, you know. And so we were talking trash, you know, to the cats and stuff, and they, oh yeah, y'all can do things like this. Oh yeah, well come on, it's on now.
Attire was a part of the competition too. You wanted to outplay the other musicians, but you wanted to outdress the other musicians too.
The horns danced in front of the band. They did routines, twirling the horns, 2 steps here, 2 steps there, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, you know. While the tune is going on, you got this going on, you got that going on. Well, all this is made to get the people up on the dance floor and get the people into the music. And once we got you into the music, then we can take you wherever we want you to go. We had a girl named Mama D. She played trumpet, female trumpet player from Bishop. She sat in with us that night, and she was a heavy-set girl. This girl could move, dance, play the trumpet, and you could play them high parts. She and her Carol could play the. That's cool in the game. Get that high note up there, and we were kicking it. So whoever came after us, that's what you got to do. You're going to get on this stage and burn it, because we're going to leave it smoking for you. But the Apollo Commandos, they had worked, man. Let me tell you, because like I said, this was a competition between what we thought were the 2 best bands in South Dallas.
The 4 of us who produced the South Dallas Pop Festival, when it was all over, we ended up with $60 apiece. After all of that effort, we had $60 apiece.
The old forest.
The old man is moving much slower in here. I'm probably like the Central Forest Club
Brings back
itself.
some memories. I know I haven't been in here in maybe 18, 19 years. It seemed like it was gigantic
Yeah, back then it did.
back then.
It's like it was huge. I mean,
remember.
when the Soul 7 first got up here, man, we were talking about, we thought we had made a giant step.
Made the
in
big
evolution
time.
of the band. We were playing in the Central Forest.
Club.
Man, that stage looked huge. And you were figuring like, man, we had that many people, man. Man, we were gonna make it, man. We really gonna make it.
Yeah.
We got to
Oh, they got a bar in here now. They didn't have a bar.
Oh, that was seating.
You know, when we did this pop festival, you couldn't buy liquor by the drink.
We had some good music that night.
Well, that's
You had all the
goes
top
without saying.
bands in South Dallas. You couldn't beat that. Yeah.
Man, look at this raggedy piano.
There's only one way. Well, at least you know what notes.
Yeah, they got the keys marked. What the hell is
That
that?
was hideous. Sounded like a harpsichord.
Make good firewood. I'm somewhat disappointed that we didn't make a success of the record business, but the truth of the matter is, as we stand here in the year 2007, the whole record industry is in trouble. I don't think the community that supported it 37 years ago is even in this community anymore. I don't think the people are even here anymore. Right, you know, by now we would be retired if we had succeeded.
Good God. All right. See y'all. See ya.
One of the reasons we had limited success as a record label, we didn't have the cooperation of radio. The black-oriented radio stations were the only stations who were going to play our stuff, and payola was a reality. We couldn't really get our stuff played consistently enough to sell it.
Of course, you know, they were black, so we were really on their case. So, man, we in here trying to get out of this place, man, trying to do some stuff, man. We can't get no support from the radio station in our town, man. We local bands, man. You won't even come see us. You won't even mention us, you know, like that. You cats come down here and you done got your golf clubs and your, you know, and all this under the table, and you won't even play it. We don't have no golf clubs to give you, man. All we got is good music, plenty of funk, man. You know, come on, give us a break.
We just didn't have the cooperation of the radio stations, black-oriented radio stations who were supposed to serve the black community, but who didn't. Those very same records that we put out in the late 60s and early 70s have now been recognized by young, primarily white, in fact, all white record collectors, guys who are just in their 20s now, who were not even thought of in those days. And they heard this music, they found some of these old records and liked them, and one of those guys, Ethan Allipat, who's with the label Stone's Throw and Now Again Records, realized how good the stuff was, and so he and I have entered these agreements to reissue all of that old stuff practically. If it's good now, it was good then. We just didn't have anybody to take a chance on us and give us a chance. So, I mean, you know, and let us be heard.
You have to, the man's without honor in his own home, but then, you know, you can earn your own honor by presenting yourself on the stages of this place. Dallas has grown. Music saved my life. It gave my life somewhere to go, gave me somewhere to go. And I love it. Now, I'll go away from here loving music. So I think the world would be a pitiful place without music. When I sit there on Thursday nights and listen to these guys play at the Jazz in the Atrium, I feel it here. I don't know whether anybody else in that place feels it where I feel it, but I feel it right here. Even if it's the funky type that I say appeals to the posterior anatomy, I still feel it here. There are enough musicians in this area that there ought to be a musician, a group, a band in every club. That's the way I would like to see it. Then you could say you had a scene. Then you could say, along with the arts and the dance and all of that, you had a live music scene to go with it. You are now a culturally classic major city. If I might say, I idolize my brother Roger Parker because he has made a living as a jazz musician in this town, and it is not an easy thing to do.
I know that I have grown as a musician. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot even today from my students.
1 and 2 and ready and play and.
And I find myself now teaching at Booker T. Washington High School I think the bitterness has slipped into service. Okay? You missed, you played, go. Okay, now play the scale. G sharp. Okay, some of you struggle with that last chord. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Shh. 1, 2, ready, play. They want from me those things that they can't get from a book. They want to hear those stories about some of the jazz wars I fought, you know. I started Soul-Tex. It's an idea whose time hasn't come. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but we certainly put forth the effort. I mean, people like Wendell Sneed and myself, we tried. Good night, ladies. Young people of today who can look back, or who take the time and have the interest to look back, can see that, for an example, the success that Erykah Badu has had didn't just come about. Somebody had to pave the way. And I think we paved the way for people of her generation, just as people like Buster Smith, who played jazz and Deep Ellum in the 1930s, paved the way for us, who came along 30, 40 years later. You're always standing on someone else's shoulders.
You've had a good time. We know this because we've had a good time. Out of sight.
This program has been made possible in part by the City of Dallas Office of Cultural Affairs, the Denton Appleton Baldwin Fund, and by the valued support of KERA members. Thank you. If you enjoyed this program, please make a contribution to KERA at kera.org or call 1-800-456-5372.
A
Democratic convention is about to begin in a police state.
The 1968 Democratic National Convention made history.
We expect this to be a peaceful, nonviolent demonstration.
Now history has a new look.
Order in the car! Order in the car! Get caught in the judge!
That's probably going to get sued for that one.
Chicago 10 on Independent Lens.
Next on KERA.
Tune in for a celebration of the glorious and soulful sound of Philadelphia.
This is Mrs.
with some of the greatest bands of the 60s and 70s. You don't need a ticket. Just get on board the Love Train right here on PBS. Saturday at 7 on KERA.
PBS celebrates the legends of classic country.
Like a ride.
His wife was ill, and he didn't want to travel around the country and leave her, so they were forced to come up with somebody else, and they came up with Joe DeRita. They tried him out, and he worked out. He became Curly Joe, sort of because he looked like Curly, and his name was Joe, so I guess they figured, well, we already had Curly, we already had Joe, we'll call you Curly Joe, and the name stuck.
Joe DeRita was born Joseph Wardell on July 12, 1909 in Philadelphia. Like Besser, Joe DeRita had been a star in vaudeville burlesque and had his own series of films for Columbia.
They spent, 12, 16, 20 weeks a year on the road doing personal appearance tours, and they would do 3, 4, 5 shows a day. And that's really where they made most of their money.
They did an act that hadn't changed in 35 or 40 years. I knew every line of the show.
In 1958, Columbia Pictures released 78 of the old Curly two-reelers to television, and within a year, their popularity exploded to new heights, and so did their salary.
None of them were really aware of it. When they came to Pittsburgh, and their last, the reoccurrence of the popularity after television, they got off the train, because they came by train at that time. I think it was 1959. And they saw all these people at the station. They wondered who the VIP was on the train, not realizing the crowds were for them. They had absolutely no idea of how popular they were.
Joe DeRita brought his own flair to the act.
Obviously, he had big shoes to fill, but he was a veteran performer, too. It wasn't like he was just a nobody. He wasn't perhaps as well-known as Joe Besser was at the time when Besser came in.
Most everything was discussed with Larry and Moe, whether they would take something or do something or anything. Not one person made the decision. Then after Joe joined them, Joe was like a junior partner, let's put it that way. And Larry, after a couple of years, said to Moe, this I know, let's make him an even partner. I don't know what the partnership was at that time. Maybe it was 40, 40, and 20. So Moe says, why? We've been for years this way, you know? Why should he get part of the good amount? So Larry says, look, between 20 and 33%, there's not that much difference, Moe. And you're making him feel like he's part of it. Like this, he feels like he's a nothing, he's a drag on. Let's make him feel, and that's what they did. They made him an even partner. Larry forced it on Moe, because I told you Moe was thrifty. But I didn't say cheap, he was thrifty.
The boys were back on top, and the studio that had fired them in '57 wanted them back. This time for a starring feature picture called Have Rocket Will Travel. The Stooges did several more features between '65 and '69, and their last film for Columbia was The Outlaws Is Coming.
The Outlaws is coming. What a wonderful experience. Our first meeting at the Columbia Ranch one morning quite early. And I went into makeup and got on my Western duds and came out in the street. And I saw Larry Fine sitting in a chair. And I think his wife was yelling at him about something. And then actually the guys were very serious off camera, their demeanors. They were really very serious artists in their own way. And I was impressed with how quiet they were in respect to their screen personae. I think the funniest little incident with the picture that I remember, the main thrust of the plot was that we were trying to save the buffalo. And I was the young lawyer from Boston, and I had the same interests, and that's how we got together. But anyway, so we spent the movie trying to save the buffalo. The wrap party at the end of the movie, Moe says, okay, everyone's invited to my place in Bel Air for a buffalo barbecue. And that sort of typifies these three 3 restless nights. I never really spent much time with him away from the set. People don't do that often in Hollywood. You know, you're doing a series and you spend 18 hours a day with people and you just kind of want to get away from them. It's probably more helpful that way. I wanted to go home with the Stooges every night, but they wouldn't let me.
A&E's biography. In 1969, Moe, Larry, and Curly Joe started work on a self-produced comedy travelogue series called Kook's Tour. During the last few days of filming the pilot, Larry suffered a major stroke, which forced him to retire.
They were able to patch together a 1-hour version of the pilot, which nothing ever happened with. But that was really the end of the Stooges as we know it.
And once he was able to really handle himself, he was able to speak pretty well again, because in the beginning he could not talk. He decided he wanted to go live at the Screen Actors Guild country house. And he applied to go into that. That's in Woodland Hills, a magnificent place. And he moved into that, and he lived there for the last 6 years of his life.
And there were a lot of other people that were in the motion picture home, too, that, you know, he got friendly with, and he befriended other people in Hollywood, Ed Asner, the guy from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and a couple other people, Ted Knight, also from that show. I know that they played shuffleboard together and stuff like that.
It was obvious that Larry couldn't continue, so Moe and Curly Joe contacted their old friend, character actor Emil Sitka, to play the part of the Middle Stooge.
They had played with the idea, and Sitka was supposedly even hired and signed, sealed, and delivered to work on a picture, but, you know, things fell through, and that group that would have been Moe, Sitka as the Larry role, and Joe DeRita as the third Stooge never materialized as a group on film.
Moe started to work as a solo. He gave interviews, lectured at colleges, made TV appearances, and even though Larry was still partially paralyzed, he too was able to appear on local talk shows. He seemed to be doing well when he suffered a second stroke, which further slurred his speech, and 2 months later, he had a massive stroke which put him in a coma. Larry died 2 weeks later on January 24th, 1975. Moe was heartbroken over the news of his old friend's passing, but continued to work even though he had contracted lung cancer.
They were trying to work on a film as late as '74 with Sitka again, but apparently Sitka kept getting a call, you know, we're going to film next week, we're going to film next week, we're going to film next week, and then Moe died, and that was the end of it.
Moe died May 4th, 1975, just 4 months after Larry. Moe's passing brought an end to the world's longest-running comedy act. Joe Besser continued to work in TV and films and take care of his wife Ernie until his death, March 1st, 1988. Joe DeRita retired from show business and lived happily in North Hollywood with his wife Jean until he passed away, July 3rd, 1993. So the Stooges are gone, but their legacy of comic mayhem will make us laugh for generations.
To me, the Stooges weren't based on any kind of reality. As a kid, I even knew that. I liked seeing people get hit in the head with hammers.
Then he smacked him on the head like...
But I've also been able to create original characters based on the Larry voice, like for cartoons like Ren and Stimpy, where Stimpy the cat is, his voice is very much based on Larry Fine, except it's all jazzed up.
As long as there is man on this earth, and as long as we continue to have these repeating events, political, secular, work-related, things like this, you will always have a spot for the Stooges.
I think the Stooges will be popular long after we are gone, because they are poking fun at life.
You know, there are some shows that have that effect. Make people laugh and smile at each other.
When the Stooges first became popular on TV in the late 50s, there was a rash of kids bopping each other on the heads and poking each other in the eyes like the Stooges had done. Well, the Stooges themselves came to the rescue. In New York City, for instance, they appeared on the local program that showed their films, and they gave a live demonstration of how they actually had done their shtick, how they had socked someone without really socking them. our young fans seemed to be thrilled by it. It was like learning how to do a magic trick. And so, I guess we could say, began the era of safe socks. And now let's take a look at what's coming up on our next biography.
Thanks for watching.
Now you can own a video cassette of this program. Call 1-800-423-1212 and you will receive the program you've just seen for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-423-1212.
Let's sing like that.
To learn more about tonight's biography on A&E and other legends in entertainment, explore the vast selection of book titles at your Barnes & Noble bookstore, the book lover's second home. And visit the new A&E home video biography section at your nearest Barnes & Noble.
Though our name is little known, we speak to all America. From the simple pager to new two-way.
In October 1920, two little girls were discovered near Calcutta by a clergyman. The girls lived in this orphanage. It's now in ruins, but local school children are drawn to it for a poignant history lesson.
You see, this is the oldest house, I think, in the Nandapur. This is an orphanage. I'll explain you earlier. And you see...
The two little girls were said to have been brought up by wolves. Stories from the newspapers spoke of their animal habits, of their fierce natures, how they ran around on all fours. The Midnapur orphanage was run by the Reverend and Mrs. Singh. One day, alarmed villagers came to them. They said they'd spotted children living with wolves in the jungle. Reverend Singh's daughter-in-law recalls the wolves' den. It was deep inside a huge anthill.
It was shaped like a Hindu temple, and it had 7 holes. And these holes led to a tunnel underground, where this wolf family used to live.
Her father was prepared to kill the children's wolf parents to save them.
And he hired laborers, and they came with a spear, bow, arrow, and shovel, and they started digging a door. And as soon as they began to dig the door, the father wolf escaped. Then the mother wolf came out. She was very, very ferocious. And the laborers had to kill her with a spear. But when they went inside, they found the cubs and the children were bundled together. And this is how he rescued the wolf children.
The Singhs brought the two little girls home to the orphanage, but not to the human race. They drank and ate like animals. They hated to wear clothes. They spoke no human language and often attacked the other orphans. Fearful of bright lights, they liked to hide. They behaved more like wolves than children. One of the very few people alive today who met the wolf children is Mrs. Geeta Malik. She visited the orphanage when she was 14.
I remember we went one morning. As we went there, the Padri's wife, she came forward and took us to the parlor. And we sat there, and then she said, I'll bring the girls. But the child didn't like us. We could see that. She resented being looked at, actually. And then my mother asked her some question, what is your name? No answer. Do you like it here? She's nothing. No answer. She just growled, you know, she was just growling. And she rushed out to the courtyard. There was a little chicken going, and she caught hold of the chicken and twisted its neck. She was just going to eat it when the Padri's wife rushed out. It was bleeding. She rushed out and took the chicken away and caught hold of the girl and said, I must lock her up. She's in that mood now. Whatever she sees, she will bite.
After only a year in 1921, the youngest wolf child, Amala, died of dysentery and fever. Her sister was inconsolable.
She wouldn't touch food, neither food nor water or milk, for 2-3 days. And at night she would howl like a wolf, cry, scream, and after dusk she would run out of this orphanage, but she couldn't find Amala.
The older girl survived only into her teenage years. The children are buried beside their adopted father, together in death. But in life, they had remained true to their first family, the wolves of the jungle. Next, this great iron pillar has stood in Delhi for 16 centuries, but the technology to build it back then didn't exist. How was it made, and why isn't there even a trace of rust? The ruined mosque of Qutb Minar in Delhi. Students and tourists flock here to touch one of India's great technological puzzles. 16 centuries old, this great iron pillar is the focus of two metallic mysteries. Embracing the pillar backwards is said to bring luck. The first mystery, why has the pillar never rusted in 16 centuries? Scientists now know the secret lies in Delhi's mild climate and the chemical makeup of the metal itself. A team from the National Physical Laboratory is trying to solve the second mystery. Dr. Ashok Kumar.
The earlier scientists have already answered many questions. It only remains now a mystery, how was it made? Especially if we look at its age, 1600 years old, and if we look at its massive weight, about 6 tons of weight and such a long one. That remains a mystery, and we'd like to certainly answer how was it made and what is the structure inside.
A popular theory is that the ancient metallurgists placed discs of molten iron one on top of another. Heavy hammering bound them together, forming a pillar, like a tower of iron pancakes. Dr. Kumar is using ultrasound to detect any joints left by such a method. The speed that sound travels through the iron will tell him if the pillar is made of discs.
We put two transducers diametrically opposite to each other and measured the velocity. And then kept one transducer secured at one place and moved another one a bit higher and again measured the velocity. And then brought this one a little lower than even the previous position, and again measured the velocity. Now, these three velocities are roughly of equal order. If there was anything, any joint here between the two pieces, this velocity would have not been the same.
Kumar concludes the pillar was built in one piece. But how was it cast centuries before the invention of large furnaces?
What we would like to suggest right now is that it was perhaps a mold in which the iron was simply put, the molten iron was put, allowed to cool down, and hammered it from outside. And then some more iron put in the mold and again hammered from outside. And they continuously kept on doing for days and days till they could get to this shape.
India's holy man claimed to have a repertoire of more than 1,000 miracles. But not everyone is happy with the influence this can give them over superstitious and gullible people.
The weirdest parade in all of India. It looks as though a host of holy men have come to town. The posters promise a feast of miracles. But appearances deceive. That's the message of this man. Premanand has dedicated his life to debunking the holy men's repertoire. They claim they can perform 1,500 miracles. Pulling a chariot with hooks in the back is miracle number 25. Dedicated to exposing God-men who cheat the poor, Premanand travels India explaining their trickery.
The next item is making tea on the head of a beautiful lady.
This is miracle number 95.
Give it over. And the person has to be very careful that doesn't move the head. People think fire is dangerous. Then what you have to do, you have to very carefully put it on it so that it doesn't fall down and you take it. So put wet dough.
The trick is explained. Wet dough hidden in the towel keeps the woman's head from burning.
The godman move the fire on their body.
In the evening, the village show begins.
Ask him not to move the fire on the body, but to keep the fire on the same place.
Nervous volunteers are chosen to take part.
My ambition in life is to see at least one miracle before I die. I think my experiences show that I may not be able to do it. But if people can help me, if they think they have come across any real miracle, if they will tell me where it is happening, and if it is a real miracle, I'll be dying peacefully thinking that my search has ended.
Well, perhaps in my attempt to deflate these mysteries, I've offended enough holy men to last a lifetime, or, if some of them are right, several future lifetimes.
I can only say it's a miracle worked by God. There are fixed laws of nature. They are laws that God himself has put in nature, but God can suspend his laws or can go against them. As here, he has suspended the law of corruption of a dead body. Now, why could he have done that? How can we fathom the mind of God?
Next, witness the mighty eruption of the Raboul volcano on World of Wonder. Then the honey badger's a fearless predator on fangs. And watch 5,000 horsepower drive today's top dragsters on Next Step. Coming up next on the Discovery Channel.
Hello, and welcome to World of Wonder. I'm Michael Dorn. Just south of the equator and north of Australia is the country of Papua New Guinea. This remote location is one of the most volcanically active places on Earth. Scientists are studying recent violent eruptions there in hopes of preventing similar catastrophes in other parts of the world. A churning cloud of poisonous gas and smoke blackens the sky. Not one, but two enormous volcanoes are exploding side by side. Fiery embers and pulverized lava rain down on a town and its terrified inhabitants. Everything is lost beneath a blanket of scalding ash. Although we may gain new knowledge from this catastrophe, this paradise is lost. Rabaul in Papua New Guinea had been regarded as a jewel of the South Pacific. A bustling center of commerce, it benefited from the best natural harbor in the region. But this winning feature also posed great danger. The deep harbor is formed by the massive caldera of an ancient supervolcano.
The volcano erupts so much material very quickly It weakens the structure of the volcano, and then the volcano collapses. It almost falls in on itself because a hole's been left underneath. And this forms a large crater, which we call a caldera.
Rod Stewart is a volcanologist observing the caldera and the two volcanoes, Treverver and Vulcan, that sit on the caldera's rim. For almost 60 years, the volcanoes had been quiet. But in September 1994, the earth beneath Rabaul began to shake.
And there was a felt earthquake maybe every 2 minutes. Very frightening to some people. We knew that there had been this large-scale activity in the caldera overnight, and that the eruption was very, very close.
The people of Rabaul are prepared for the worst. They meet to discuss the emergency.
And that was when the spontaneous evacuation of towns started. People decided themselves that they wanted to get out, and so a lot of people decided to move out of town.
Those with automobiles drive inland. Others escape by boat or leave by plane. The timing is perfect. At 6 a.m. the following morning, the volcano Treverver begins erupting. Massive clouds of ash and gas surge out of Treverver for the next hour. But then, across the bay, another eruption occurs. Exploding more violently than Treverver, Vulcan hurls a column of ash 10 miles into the sky in only 20 minutes. From a point of safety, amazed townspeople watch their town being covered with white-hot lava dust. Poison gases spew from the volcanoes. Rabaul is now a death trap.
The sight of two volcanoes erupting together is absolutely incredible. It was one of the most awesome things that I've ever seen.
The massive eruptions continue for an entire week. What was once a lush green paradise is left a stark gray wasteland. The harbor is a sea of mud. Boats are trapped in the quagmire. The airport is buried. Helicopters are demolished. Terminals destroyed. Villagers return to homes crushed by white-hot cement-like dust. Entire palm forests are broken and scorched. Townspeople struggle to uncover what is left of their homes. Miles from the eruption, the dust covers everything. It will take decades for Rabaul to recover from this catastrophe. But Rabaul is only one of several active calderas in the world. Located between Los Angeles and San Francisco, the Long Valley caldera has also worried scientists in recent years. The once exploding caldera created this beautiful valley, which is close to the Mammoth Lakes recreation area. But hot springs such as these testify to the large amounts of molten lava or magma very close to the surface. Researchers from the U.S. Geological Survey say that the caldera floor is indeed rising.
We're monitoring the Long Valley caldera because it's one of the most active volcanic areas in the lower 48 states.
A A machine called a geodometer sends a laser beam to a reflector on another mountain and then times how long it takes for the beam to travel back. Over the years, the beam's journey has become longer, indicating a rise in the floor of the caldera.
Currently, the caldera is experiencing an uplift of about 2.5 centimeters per year.
2.5 centimeters per year may not seem like a lot, but scientists have observed that Rabaul showed about the same lift during the years before the eruptions. Whether Long Valley will have an identical eruption is unknown, but scientists are concerned about the similarities. As the residents of Rabaul piece their lives back together, scientists keep a close watch on other calderas. They hope that before another eruption, they can uncover the secrets that caused these awesome forces of nature. Still ahead, a rock climber prepares for an astounding leap of faith. And new pictures from space of our sun's power and fury.
That object which rose in the morning and went down in the evening. So the attitude has kind of gone the wrong way from my point of view. The sun still is the absolute reason why life exists on this planet.
Dr. Lauren Acton is one of today's sun explorers, scientists who are studying our closest star.
Ignition and liftoff. We have liftoff of Challenger and Space Lab 2. The shuttle has cleared the tower.
As a scientist for Lockheed Missiles and Space Company, Dr. Acton flew on NASA's Space Lab 2 mission in 1985. The mission was an opportunity to study the sun free from the distorting effects of the Earth's atmosphere.
By taking our tools above the atmosphere, we're able to see a new universe. It's like we've taken off the dark glasses that mankind had been wearing forever.
That's a nice view of the sun right there.
Special solar telescopes and other instruments operated by Dr. Acton in space provided data for various solar research projects.
Now seeing the sun for the first time. Very pleased group of investigators here in the Payload Operations Control Center.
Physicists got the first motion pictures of the photosphere, or radiating surface of the sun. Computer enhancement shows a boiling soup of solar gases 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Each bubble is the size of Texas and could supply the U.S. with energy for 300 years. But above the photosphere is the sun's mysterious corona. Visible to the naked eye only during a total eclipse, the corona is an area of violent activity with temperatures on the order of 1,000,000 degrees. To study the corona, scientists from the United States, Japan, and Britain developed an X-ray telescope called YOCO. YOCO, which is Japanese for sunbeam, was launched from Japan in 1991 into an 11-year orbit. Now, images from YOCO are being studied by scientists. These pictures of the sun's corona are colored in blue or red for greater clarity. To scientists, the images reveal explosive solar activity. They show the sun spewing solar gases millions of miles into interplanetary space.
You can see the corona fading in.
Dr. Keith Strong, director of Lockheed's Solar Astrophysics Lab in Palo Alto, California, is responsible for analyzing many of YOCO's images.
The sun seemed to be a wonderful reference point. In fact, our time is based on the sun, because again, it is so constant. And one of the things that we're finding nowadays is that it isn't quite as constant as we thought it was. So somewhere within the body of the sun is a dynamo. We don't know what causes it, we don't know what maintains it. We just see the result of it, i.e. the magnetic fields.
The magnetic fields are so gigantic, the entire Earth would be dwarfed in their presence. They flare out like elastic bands looping out and back to the sun. But sometimes they twist so tightly they break, resulting in a solar flare. solar flares throw tons of electronically charged atoms into space and oftentimes directly toward Earth. Sometimes these solar particles get caught in the Earth's magnetic field and create geomagnetic storms. These storms cause the beautiful northern and southern lights, but they can also overload power systems and disrupt radio communication. In 1989, a solar flare wiped out part of the Canadian power grid. Ontario lost all power for hours.
The whole southern hemisphere lit up as material erupted away from the sun, and that was the material that eventually hit the Earth a couple days later, and it was this image that helped predict that event.
Each piece of data by itself, while beautiful and interesting, only is one small piece of the puzzle. So when we put it all together,
got it going on in the go-net. Want to try it on tonight when you get dressed, so I'm the only woman that my nose to see. Want to wear a little where you think I'm gonna be, and you know what she's to wear. The one so high up scared. Peace and be wild. Think about calling her home.
Versace. Dolce & Gabbana. Richard Tyler. Vivienne Westwood. Jean-Paul Gaultier. Isaac Mizrahi. John Galliano. Marc Jacobs. DKNY. Anna Sui. Helmut Lang. Calvin Klein. Todd Oldham. Gucci. Chanel. Michael Bergen, Naomi Campbell, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Kelsey Grammer, Jerry Hall, Mariel Hemingway, Iman, Elaine Irwin, Karl Lagerfeld, Elle Macpherson, Madonna, Isaac Mizrahi, Terry Mugler, China Phillips, RuPaul, Claudia Schiffer, Eric Stoltz, TLC, Christy Turlington, Veronica Webb. And now, your host for this evening, Steven Weber.
I'm Steven Weber, and some of you may know me as Brian Hackett on Wings, and thanks. And I mean, when you think fashion, you immediately think, hey, Wings, right? Oh, by the way, the show may run past 11 o'clock tonight, so all you Calvin Klein models will have to ask permission to stay up late. Thank you. Okay. Welcome to the first ever VH1 Fashion and Music Awards. From the moment audience members started flinging their underpants at Tom Jones, fashion and music have been inextricably linked. I mean, what would fashion be without music, or music without fashion? Well, John Denver, I guess. But try to imagine Elvis without his rhinestone belt, Elton John without his platforms, Meatloaf without his... Never mind. Musicians have been setting fashion trends for years, but never before tonight have both worlds met in one room to say to each other, "I'm better than you, bitch." So tonight we marry the elegance of the fashion world and the edginess of the music industry. And to present our first award, here is one of the stars of last year's blockbuster movie Pulp Fiction and the star of the upcoming film Jane Eyre, Eric Stoltz and Elle Macpherson.